Hey, what's up, Dani here, and welcome to my channel and another video. Today I am going to show you my 2019 reading journal and my setup for the 2021. So my last year's journal looks like shit, let's be real, because I bought this for just having it as a journal diary kind of thing, and then at some point I switched over to a reading journal and bought another one for personal stuff. But there's like no actual like skills behind this. It's just random, not so interesting pages in here, but I thought I'm still gonna like wrap this one up, and like there's some stats in the back and all that, so yeah. But anyway, this was my 2019 journal that went from a journal to a reading journal. So the beginning of this book is like personal stuff as well. I bought this when I was in England at the end of April, so there's not really anything before that in here. So yes, let's just look at this. So as you can see, there's stuff from England that I wrote in here. So yeah, it's not that important. And then I have the first book related thing I did was the May reading log, which was the Asian readathon. So I just put out all the books I've read for the Asian readathon. As you can see, it looks shit, but oh well. So I got the rating and I wrote down a little bit about the book and why I liked it, so yes. And then I have a quote from Warcross. And then I actually started properly with layouts of the month. So here is my June reading log. So here's like all the books I've read in June, which is all just manga. And I could have put those here and have one page, but I didn't know at that time how much space it would need, so I changed it to one page later on. And then I had the reading tracker, which was all the days of the month and everything that's colored the days I've read. So there's 2 days in this month I haven't read anything, so yeah. And then the color scheme is always here, purple or violet is manga, the blue one's comics, and the red one's books, so it shows what I've read. So when I have 2 colors, I've read 2 different things in that day. So, and then here we have the media tracker, which is like all the anime, the movies, the web comics, and that stuff I've read. So yes, I don't even know how much you can properly see. I don't know how the quality is. It's very dark, it's winter and it's gross, so. And then that's the one-off thing I did is movies I'm interested in June. So I wrote down all the movies that come out in June. I have only watched 2 of those, but yeah. And then I went to Pride, so I just put the stickers in here because it was still personal as well. It was still a mixed journal. Then I started a double page, which I haven't updated, of places I want to travel to. So these are like all the cities and towns, places, whatever I want to travel to someday, so yes. And then we go to July. I always kept like the same, the way I did it, it was like the same for the beginning. So here is the books I've read in July. And then again, the reading trackers of the days I've read and what I've read. And then again, media tracker with individual colors, like light blue is anime and dark blue is TV show, green is movie. And then there's personal stuff again and the drawing I did. And then it was the reading rush, so I dedicated a spread for that. So I had like the prompts and the pages I've read, the batches I got and stuff like that. Then again, personal stuff, another drawing. And then we got into August. As you can see, it's always the same build. So here's the books I've read in August. And then I started to split this because I thought during the reading rush, that was because of the reading rush, I really liked that page count thing that I had to do during this week. So I wanted to do this as well for my other reads. So this page is the same as always, the reading tracker. I've actually read every single day, which is really good. And then I did the page count. So this is every week, so the 5 weeks in that month. And again, like how many pages I've read, the colors again, the colors go through the whole book. They're always the same. So everything purple is manga, everything red is book, everything blue is comic. So I did kind of the same thing as over here, but with page count. And then here's the weekly page count and the overall page count. So this is what I started in that month because I was inspired by the reading rush. Then again, media tracker. And then I thought this can also be done in one spread. You don't have to separate the page count and the reading tracker because it shows when I've read as well. So what I did in September was merge these two, so I still have all the days of the month. But instead of filling out boxes, I just did the page count of each book I've read. So if there's like no color, these are the days I haven't read. So there are 3 days this month I haven't read. So it kind of gets the same done as these two, but it's one page. And I am liking this, and I kept doing this for the rest. And I also will do this in my new journal because this is what works for me best. And again, here's the week. And then here, down here's the total. So yes. Then again, reading log, media tracker. It's always the same, like there's nothing special here. And then October did the same. As you can see, the first half of the month was terrible for me reading wise. So yes, you can see how bad it was. And then again, reading log of the books I've read. And I always write down the rating, the time it took me to read the book, the pages, and how many days it took me to read. So yes, I got the Bookly app on my phone so I can track this sort of stats, so I can always write them down. I even did like an average star rating of the month, and I wrote down what I've read this month. This is like me finding a proper style on what I want to do, but yeah. Then again, we have media tracker of the anime and all the movies and stuff I've watched. And then I started requesting arcs, so I made a separate page for arcs that I needed to read in that month or the next month. Then again, November, same style. And I also tried to like doing some artsy bits to go with the season and the month. And then again, reading log, media tracker. It's always the same, there's like nothing different. And then we have arcs again, and when I have to read them. And then we have December, same thing. I've read a lot in December. I've read 4,757, you can see it here. 4,757 pages, which is a lot, but then it's also Magical Readathon month, and look at all this. I've read so much in that time. This was probably, reading wise, December was the best month I had. And then because I've read so much, it didn't fit on one page, so I had to add another paper because yeah, terrible. Then also I've watched a lot, so the media tracker is huge. I've watched a lot of stuff. And then I thought I want to include the Magical Readathon stuff because it's a choose your own journey kind of readathon, so you had to like choose what you would do, and then whatever happens, it gives you a reading prompt. So you can't prepare for this. The reading prompt comes during the readathon, so I just printed out all of the pages that I had to go through. So we just have that, and then we have my first prompt, which was read a book that is longer than 500 pages. So here's the book I've read with some text about what I felt, and here again the rating and the pages and the time it took me to read. Then I continued, then chapter 2. Then the reading prompt was read a book with an orange cover, and then I had this, and again the same layout of the whole thing. And then again, reading prompt, read a comic book, manga, picture book, or a graphic novel. So here's again. Then chapter 3. Then I had to read a book with pink or purple on the cover. It's just a really fun readathon. I really like that choose your own journey kind of feel. So yes, then reading prompt, read a book that starts with the letter S for Slytherin. So I have it here again, written what I felt. Then yeah, carry on. Then we have read a book with plants on the cover. So here's a tree on here, and here's a little tree. So I've read this graphic novel. Then I had to tweet a photo of my favorite Quidditch player. So I had it here. I printed out my tweet, put it in here. It's all sticky. There's so much gluing in here. It's filling up all the pages, which I wanted because I wanted to start a new journal for the new year. So I thought I'm just going to do this. So yes. Then I had read a book that has a sword on the cover. That was the last book I had to read, so I read Moggy. And then, congratulations, you've completed the Winter Magical Readathon. So that was it. And then here I did a wrap up, like the prompts and the books I've read for the Readathon. And then here I did stats, as you can see. So I took this off Goodreads, so I have read 26,638 pages in 117 books, and my average rating was a 4.7. Then my highest rated, and not my highest rated, but the highest rated book on Goodreads at that time was Cloud Cover. The most popular was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The least popular, you can't see it. The least popular is Damaged Hearts, because that's like an arc I got, so it was new. Then we have shortest book, Small Hours, and the longest book I've read was Blade of the Immortal with 832 pages. And then down here I've wrote what I've read. These 117 books split in these, so 19 books, 65 manga, and 33 comics and graphic novels. So yes. Then I also did a TV and movie stats page. So I've watched 500 episodes. I've watched 56 movies. My first movie was Captain America, the First Avenger. And the last movie was Push, because I started my year with Chris Evans. I ended my year with Chris Evans. And here are some stats. 14.3% out of the movies I've watched were 2019 releases, and 85.7% were older releases. 37.5% were new movies to me, so first time watches, and 62.5% were rewatches. I love rewatching my favorite movies. So then it's really hard to show because my stand is in the way. So the highest average movie I've watched was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It has a 4.4 rating. The lowest is Arctic Dogs with a 1.8, and the most popular I've watched was Avengers Infinity War. And then over here I basically just wrote down all the songs that were released in 2019 that I added to my Spotify. So we got all the songs that I've added that were released. So that were 95 songs. And that's it. That's my 2019 reading journal. So yes. And then I bought a new one. So this is my new journal. This is the 2020 journal, depending on how many pages I'm going to fill, maybe even 2021, who knows, because it's a thick one, so I don't know. And so I'm trying to use the index pages because, yeah. Then I have, first off, the books I've read in 2020. I've already read 6 books, so I filled this out. This is very simple. I took this idea from everyone else because a lot of people are doing this, so I took this as well because I thought it was fun. Took me forever to draw though. And then we have, here's my Goodreads goal. I always set my Goodreads goal to 100. So I made 100 boxes and filled those out. Again, in the other one I had the colors, and down here you see the colors that I will be using for these different, for books, manga and comics. So these colors go throughout the book again. So I use them here too. Then here is readathons. I'm gonna participate if I can. And if I participate in other ones, I'm going to write them down here. And then here is the books I've bought. I haven't bought anything yet, so it's still empty. And then here is ARCs and free books I'm getting, so I haven't requested anything yet. And then here's all the movies I will watch or I've watched in the year of 2020, and here's the TV shows by season. And then we start with January, so I made this title page which looks terrible, but oh well. Also, I did a black and white theme on the 2020 stuff, and I think I'm going with every month. I am just going with black and white as well, but I give it one color, so each month has a different color which goes through the whole month. So the style is always the same because I like that simple one. So here's all the books I've read so far with the star rating and the pages and that stuff. Again, I'm keeping those, just that I am not printing out the covers anymore and write it down like this. It looks neater that way. And then here's again, as I said, I'm going to continue doing the page and reading tracker like I did in the other book. So we've got every day that I've been reading by pages, and over here I'm just going to add the page count for every week, and down here is the total of the month, which it's gonna be easier for me to do when I do a stats thing in the end of the year or something. I can just look at this. And then the last 2 pages is a favorite book of the month. I want to try to do this. Not sure, because I'm terrible at finding a favorite book, because I always love so many of the books I'm reading. So, but yeah, I'm going to finish this once I know which is my favorite book. And then here again, the movie and TV tracker. Here's like all the TV shows I'm watching and what episodes, where I'm watching them. And here's all the movies I've watched and where I've watched them. And that's it. And here, if there's nothing more, it's gonna be February on here. So yes, this is my current journal, my reading journal. So yes, this is it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope I will see you in my next one. Bye.